welcome. Today I am going to try and experiment using this balloon. Then I'm going to sit in this cup and I am going to use Jesmonite, the AC100, and I'm going to use a spatula to paint on the Jesmonite onto this balloon. So basically I'm using the balloon as my mold, and I'm going to paint the surface and then allow that to cure and then pop the balloon and have like a shell. I will also be using some retarder today because this takes a little while to frost or paint on to the balloon, and I don't want to run the risk that my Jesmonite's going to harden before I'm finished. So we'll be using about 2 mils. Well, actually, let me check my pipette. I will be using probably 1.5 mil of the retarder, because to start I'm only going to do 40 liquid, 100 base, plus an extra 10 base, because I want it to be thicker. When you initially stir Jesmonite, it's kind of like a pancake batter consistency, and I want it to be more like frosting. So I will be adding extra base to accomplish the thickness that I want, and that's another reason for using this retarder, because when I add more base, it shortens the cure time even more than it already is. So I'm going to mix up my Jesmonite and I will be back. Okay, my Jesmonite's mixed, and now I'm going to add some green and some blue pigment. Then all you need to do is make sure you have your balloon steady, securely, stabilized. And then you'll want to start putting the Jesmonite on. Just start at the top. And then grab your spatula and start painting it down the balloon. Put some more Jesmonite. Now what I'm doing is I'm pouring the Jesmonite on, and then I'm tilting the balloon for it to move. Alright, that'll make a good base coat, and then I'll let that cure, and I'll come back and I'll ultimately probably do 3 coats. So I will be back. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to now do the second coat on this, and this is how it's looking so far. I didn't realize that this pigment would actually color it so much. I figured it was, most colors don't work very well with Jesmonite, but these do. So something to know for future, that the Balmonite pigments color Jesmonite extremely well. So this time I'm just going to put a little Jesmonite into these cups and then add my pigment and then stir that into the plain mixture. So I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did yesterday. 110 on the powder, 40 on the liquid, and pour and shape it on. And this time I'll try to be better about my mixing so I don't wind up with these little dots. That's just extra powder that I didn't mix in properly. But thankfully that's the lower layer and won't be seen once all this is done. Okay, I'm just going to put the pigment in. I'll give that a little swirl. Now I'll go on with the green. And again a swirl. Alright, and then I'm going to start again like I did yesterday. I'm going to pour some on the top and let it kind of flow. Alright, now that I have it all on, I'm going to use my spatula to go around the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and work on my next batch while this is curing. Alright, I'm going to give that a few hours to set up, and then I'll flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, it's been a few hours and this is now hard. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it on this side and do something similar design to not have it look like that. That was where I was just using the spatula to smooth it out, the drippings. So now I'm going to flip it this way and work on evening that out. And then I think I'm going to leave it where it's at. I'm good with the hole being like that. So I just want to clean this up. So I'm going to mix up some additional Jesmonite and get to pouring. Okay, and this is the same exact technique I've been using all along, except I won't be pouring directly from the top. I'm going to pour from here on the edges. Alright, I do want to create a base for this so it has something to sit on. So my plan is to use this mold and sit this in it while it cures so it has a base. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up some Jesmonite for this. Alright, and I'm just going to pour that into my mold. Alright, now since I want my bowl to kind of be on a tilt, I'm actually going to place it in sideways like this. So that way it'll be angled. So I'm just sitting it right on top of that wet Jesmonite. Okay. And then I will let that cure for, it should be hard within about 20 minutes, but just to be extra cautious, I'll probably give it at least an hour or so. And then I will demold that and pop the balloon. At which point I'll need to do some sanding, so I'll go outside to do the sanding to get this to the final product. So I will be back. Okay, it's been about an hour, so we should be okay to go ahead and mold the base of this. So I'm just going to pull that out of the mold, hopefully. Excellent. So now we have this as our base. And I can go ahead and pop the balloon. Hopefully the whole thing doesn't crack. Just take it from up here. And there's the balloon. For the opening. You can save all these pieces too. You could use them as terrazzo chips. Okay, and that's the inside of the bowl. It's pretty cool in there. And this is the outside. Now I'm going to take this outside and use an orbital sander to clean it up. You could also use a sanding pad or an emery board. It probably will take a lot longer, but I'll work to clean up these edges because right now they're pretty rough. And I'll be back to show you what it looks like when it's complete. Okay, I finally finished doing my sanding. Just as a reference, I used an orbital sander and I probably spent a good hour and a half sanding, and I love it. I think it turned out stunning. I really love the base, and I like the size of the hole so that you can fit your hand in there. Now, you could use this for any number of things, you know, a candy dish, or you could drill holes in here and you could use it as a planter, put some succulents in it or something like that. If you were going to use it as a planter or anything, then you would want to seal it with something like this acrylic sealer because it has weather resistance and moisture movement, and it is UV stable. So if you're going to use it for anything outside or something like that, definitely make sure you seal it because it is Jesmonite. But the inside, I like that contrast of here to here. It wasn't what I had started out thinking it would be, but I really like it. It's very cool, different effect. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to do this yourself, it takes a lot of patience. This probably took me a course of 3 or 4 days to do, and then a lot of sanding. And make sure if you do this that you do at least 3 to 4 layers. Otherwise, when you pop that balloon, it might all crack, and that would be very sad. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and press the bell to be alerted to future videos. And I'll show you a final close-up of the bowl. Here you have it.